Cognitive behavioral therapy and skin flushing. Let's talk about that today. Hang on. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is April, and today we're going to talk about cognitive behavioral therapy and skin flushing. So this week I've been talking, sorry, I think we're a little, there we go. This week we've been talking about just some introductory, barely scratching the surface type things on why do we skin flush. And we've talked about estrogen, progesterone, we talked about emotional triggers. And today I want to talk a little bit about cognitive behavioral therapy. Not that that causes us skin flushing, but what it's linked to, I think, does cause skin flushing based off of the emotional triggers we talked about yesterday. So cognitive behavioral therapy is about really becoming self-aware, bringing your thoughts to the surface so that you can think about what you're thinking about and then reestablish your thought patterns. So just barely scratching across the surface, like I said, again, it's not going to be a long video. It is Friday. It's my 5th video of the week. And I, while we're in quarantine, do try to do a video every day, Monday through Friday, before we head out to the weekend. Oh, and check out my shirt. Nashville Strong. From when, these were made from when the tornadoes hit back in March. So anyway, when we think about what we're thinking about, here's what happens. We become very self-aware. Just knocked something off the table. We become very self-aware of what we're thinking about. So think about what you're thinking about. It creates the feelings. It creates the hormonal release in your body of adrenaline and cortisol and stress hormone, all the stuff that happens in your body whenever you're thinking in a stressful manner. But if you ever stop long enough to ask yourself, what am I thinking about that's creating this, and why am I thinking it? So with cognitive behavioral therapy, it's something that somebody can do with you, or you can do it on yourself, which is really a lot of what my journey was about, was me starting to question and identify, why do I do the things I do? Why do I think the way I think? Who told me that? I wonder why I do these things, and really having a pure curiosity of why I do the things I do. So with skin flushing, if skin flushing is based off of a stress factor, if it has to do with the dilation of the blood vessels inside of your body close to the skin, which then make you flush, whether that be on your neck, chest, or your face, if it's coming from a stress response, maybe if you start to dive into why you're thinking what you're thinking, then you'll be able to identify some of the areas that you could start to target and restructure your thinking patterns around it. So look up cognitive behavioral therapy. It's actually something that I'm becoming certified in right now to be a practitioner of. It's something that I do anyway, but it's cool to have the piece of paper saying that I'm certified in it according to some institute that gives you authority, whoever that is out there in the governing agencies. Anyway, all that to say, I hope you all are having a fantastic Friday, and my challenge to you and my encouragement to you today is think about what you're thinking about and start questioning your thoughts. So if you have a thought pattern that you're having throughout the day, just like a stressful thought, or you're mad at someone, or you're having these offenses, write it down. Write down, I'm very offended by my husband because of X, Y, Z. And then I want you to focus on that today, on why am I so upset? And start to dig apart that it's not necessarily because he doesn't push the trash down. That may or may not have been an issue for us years ago. But you know what's interesting about that is that as soon as I stopped nagging him, he started pushing the trash down. Interesting. But I had to change my thought patterns around, it is the end of the world if the trash doesn't get pushed down. And then either I just push it down myself, or I just leave it there. And if it gets missed, the world just kept going. Surprising. And he started pushing the trash down more often, and I really just didn't care. There's so many other great things and wonderful things about him that I didn't care if the trash went down or not. And if I really wanted it down that bad, I just push it down myself. He does so many other things around this house and with these kids. So that's an example of changing your thought patterns around something to where I actually appreciate the things that this person does do instead of the one thing that drives me nuts that he never does. Changing my thoughts around it, which in fact begins to change my feelings, which then creates a whole different reality in front of us. So that's what I have for you today, my friends. I hope you have a lovely weekend. I hope you've enjoyed the videos this week with why we flush and some things, random things like cognitive behavioral therapy that can help you pull yourself out of a stress response, and that might help with your skin flushing. So I will see you all next week. Bye.